Hi everyone, welcome to the show. This is Vinayak here. For next 1 hour, almost I'll be with you to have a pre-session on Certified Ethical Hacking version 10. So welcome again. Let me tell you about myself. So I am an academician since last almost 16 years with various technologies like PowerShell scripting, Bash shell scripting. I have been there into security as well, VMware, vSphere, Linux, and cloud computing. These are my organizations that I have exactly dealt with. That means they are my end gainers like CGI, Unisys, Wipro, Gemini. So these are a few of them. And I have taken up certain examples there in colleges and universities as well. These are my certifications. So I hold up certification in Linux, your Microsoft certifications in cloud and security, and Windows Server 2012. I am thrice certified in VMware. I've got a certification in ethical hacking, and I'm an instructor for EC Council as well. So these are my credentials, and here's my technical showcase. So I have got a knowledge in PowerShell, Red Hat Linux, Ubuntu, Fedora, CoreOS, Microsoft Windows, Kali Linux, Google Cloud Platform, VMware, vSphere, OpenFiler, Microsoft Windows, Microsoft Windows 7 and all. So these are the server-side operating systems. These are the client-side operating systems. Microsoft Exchange Server. We have a bit of knowledge on clustering as well. And these are the miscellaneous technologies that I have in there. So today's topic is about security, right? So it's precisely about ethical hacking. So how can we move towards ethical hacking? Yeah, and we'll understand first of all securing services. So we have got to understand what is a service, how services can be seen, how listing ports can be accessed, understanding and running an RDP service, uh, scanning the services, and service improvements. So these are the 6 topics that we have to deal with today. And moreover, I'll exactly show you how to exactly use up Kali Linux particularly to get hacked or hack into somebody's IP address, or particularly you can say I'll precisely show you a camera being hacked over there. So, what is a service securing life cycle? So, this is a service securing life cycle. So, first of all, we scan for ports in there. And once we scan for ports, we do some enhanced scanning over there. So, after doing enhanced scanning, we find out certain vulnerabilities once the scanning is done. So once the scanning is done, and vulnerabilities are found, we patch up the system with with that particular patch so that the vulnerability can be removed. If the patching works, then it's okay. Otherwise, we can move up towards a changing of the port numbers if required. So once the changing of the port number is done, we go for an auditing so that if we can understand that we have met up the company compliance or not. So this is the tool particularly we'll play with today. So this is called Nmap. So it's a very popular tool that is used in Kali Linux. It's now even available for Windows. It can be even downloaded on other subsystems as well, right? So this particular tool will be used today for scanning up the systems and getting up the informations. So with that, let's jump up to some demos and show you. Okay, so what I have got in here is one Kali Linux machine and a Windows machine, right? So let me just resume this Windows machine in there. First of all, to hack up any network over there, what you require first of all to know the IP addresses that is being used in that particular network, right? So what we will do, we'll scan up the network and we'll find out that what are the IP addresses that is being used in my particular network. So I have logged on to Kali, right? And I'll just stretch it a bit. I'll open up a terminal here and I'll do a command called IPA. So this command shows me my IP address. So my IP address is in 10.10.10.71. So what I am expecting is that I am exactly expecting that I belong to network 10.10.10.0 because we have got a CIDR of /24. So precisely if I have got a CIDR of what do you say 10.10.10.0 /24, this means that I can just ping up any system over there right from 10.10.10.1 to 10.10.10.254. So let's find out that what are the IP addresses there available in my network. So it's very simple. So you can just type in a command over here, nmap hyphen capital P small n hyphen small s capital S, and then your network ID 10.10.10.0/24. So this will give me a scan result and of the all the IP addresses that it has encountered in my network. So it means that it will find out all the IP addresses that is belonging to my network, or it can see the IP addresses, or in fact in a layman's network it will find out all the computers, right? All the computers, all the IP cameras, all the printers and all. So we are scanning, I am scanning my network particularly to find out all the IP addresses available and the port numbers available. So you can see here that I got a dropped out result. So the result starts from here. So the result starts from here. So it has scanned up a system with an IP address of 10.10.10.11, and these are the port numbers that it has accessed, that is open. So it has accessed that there is a port number 22 called whose service name is SSH. So this is what we were talking about, that there is a port number called 22 which is belonging to port with the service called SSH, which is available in IP address 10.10.10.11. So how did we come to know that? We just scanned our whole network. We scanned our whole network and it gave me, first of all, this is a part of one part of the result. This is the second part of the result in here, right? Again, this goes to the third part and so on and so forth, right? So here we can see that port number 22 is open on 10.10.10.11, right? Which whose service name is SSH. So again we can see that port number 80 is open on the same system over there. So wherever we find port number 80 being open, right? So that means it is a web server. We can access that system over there, right? If we find certain port like 3389 open, so it means that particularly that system can be terminal, or we can emulate the terminal over there. So for that understanding, let me show you one example in here. So this is another Windows 10 in the in my same network, obviously. And what I will do, I'll just grab up a command prompt right from this place, and I will do in an IP config. So ipconfig shows us that my IP address is 10.10.10.24. So let's search for the result of 10.10.10.24 in here. So the point is that this, first of all, you need to understand that this is some victim system, and this is the attacker. Right. So attacker will use this system. I didn't need to go to the victim system, in fact, but this is a show going on, so I have to show you particularly that what exactly is going inside the victim system particularly. So victim system has an IP address of 10.10.20 to 10.24. So that we can easily grab up right from this place that what are the ports open. So I just scanned up and my system would have found out that there is a system called 10.10.10.24. So let's see if I have found out. Yeah, so you can very well see that I have found out a system called 10.10.10.224, which has got only one port open, 5357, right? So let me do something so that one more port gets opened up. So what I'll do, I'll just switch on my terminal services in here. So I'll go to properties, I'll go to remote settings, I'll go to allow remote connections to this computer and okay. So this is something that victim has done. Let us say that victim has enabled remote desktop connection in here, right? So what has happened once he has enabled remote desktop connection? So he can from any other system, he can do up MSTSC, or he can use up his cell phone even to grab up a remote desktop, and he can just type in there 10.10.10.224, and I'll get up a username and a password in here. So I have to put in a username and a password. So if I just put in the username uh, that I specified, so I'll be able to get into the system particularly, right? So the point is that obviously this system is now protected, but the point is that let's rescan this system and see what exactly this. So you know that we have only one port open, but since we enabled the remote desktop connection, I mean to say, so what has exactly happened to the system over there? It has new port opened, obviously. Nmap hyphen tn hyphen ss, and now this time I won't give the network ID. Instead, I'll give up the IP address of the system. So 10.10.10.224. Okay, so I can find all the digital signatures as well. So wait a second. So what is a digital signature? So let me show you what is a digital signature. So if you just put up hyphen a, I'll be able to find out all the information. That means what is the operating system likely over there, right from this place. I don't need to go over there on Windows 10. So this tool exactly Nmap will say us that okay, this particular operating system is something like Windows 10, or this is the build number. Nmap. So one of the participant has asked me a question: why use Nmap? So see, Nmap is a scanning tool. That is why we are using this tool to scan up the whole network. Bug bounty, you have asked me this question. Yes, Nmap scans all the IP addresses of the network. So this is going to take a bit of time. Yes, we can ping remote networks over there. We can. Yes, it's Nmap is free. Nmap is free. Ayush Srivastava, and Nmap is free. Amit, can we ping remote network? Amit Hegre, can we ping remote network? Yes, obviously we can ping remote network. Let me show you. So let us say that I want to ping up some other system whose IP address. Let's say I don't know the IP address. So first of all, okay, so the results have arrived. So I'll come back to this scanning of remote system over there in a couple of minutes. But you can see that earlier we saw over there that this port was only opened, right? So here we have one more port opened over there as 3389. So particularly 3389 is open means that we can exactly grab up the terminal of that system. So let's find out that which system has 3389 opened in my earlier result over there, right? So let's go back to the earlier result. So just keep an eye over here and we'll find out 3389 somewhere. Okay, so we have found out 3389 at this place. So what is the IP address of this system? So IP address of this system is 10.10.10.210, right? So if we just do an MSTSC, so we found that it's okay. Let's scan up once again for 2.210. So I'm just removing this hyphen A to do a quick scan. So you can see that hyphen A does a very aggressive scan in there, and it finds out the systems, the different results that is related to MAC address, that is related to the operating system version and all, right? So you can see that the service info is here is Windows, so it gives us that it is a Windows operating system over there, right? So I'll just not do a hyphen A. Instead, I'll just scan up the system for the open ports. So nmap hyphen pn hyphen s and the IP address of the system. So this will give me just the scan results of 10.10.10.201. So one of you wanted me to scan up some remote system over there. So let me scan up a remote system. So here we go. uh, Nmap hyphen ss hyphen pn and 203.163.246.43. So let's see. So whose IP address is this? This is one of the data centers IP address. Exactly, I'm not going to reveal whose IP address is this, but I have an access to this IP address, so I'll scan up this IP address. So okay, we can see that these are the port numbers open, right? So these are the port numbers open in this particular. So I just don't need to be in my particular subnet. In fact, I can be in any subnet over there, and I can scan up any system over there in any part of the world using Nmap. Particularly, I guess that bug bounty this answers your question, isn't it? Okay, here we go. So we came up with the result that this system 10.10.10.210 is having port number 3389 open. So what I can do, if 3389 port number is open, I can just grab up any system over there and I can do up an MSTSC to 10.10.10.210. Okay, so I have just got a password to be put in, and here we go. Here we are inside the system. So you can see that I am able to access the remote desktop of that machine, right? So the point is that I knew the username and password. So what if I didn't knew the username and password? What could I have done? So just go to the task manager and see, we'll do something over here. So what is the performance of the machine over here now? So we are the CPU is being used only to 3%, right? So there is a command where I can just do something called denial of service attack, or I can just attack this system so that the server exactly becomes busy or the CPU utilization exactly increases over here. So you just pay attention at this place wherein it shows the CPU utilization. So I'll try to attack this machine, and I'll increase the CPU utilization of this machine. So this is what hackers exactly do, and in terms of ethical hacking, we call it DDoS attack or denial of service attack. So what is the command particularly? So cat, I have just brought up the command cat slash desktop. Okay. So the command is hping 3, right? So what we have to do, we have to just type in here hping 3 and the IP address of the system. So we know that the IP address of the system is 10.10.10.210. So 10.10.10.210, and I will just use my IP address to attack. So my IP address is 10.10.10.117, I guess. So I'll just see it once again. So what is my IP address? I'll just come over here and I'll type in IPA, and I'll find out that it's 171. It's not 117, it's 171. So I'll just change it to 171 and hyphen P, and I'll attack port number 3389 because 3389 was open, and I'll do a hyphen flood. So see here, the CPU utilization shoots up to 70%. Can you see that? So if this is done by a group of people, so what exactly group of people does to bring down a server? So they form a group, they take up different laptops or different desktops over there, and they do this distributed denial of service attack, or DDoS we call it, right? So DDoS exactly is done by a group of people with the same methodology, or with the almost same methodology, not exactly the same, with almost the same methodology. So now what I am going to show you now is something interesting. So I have a cam over here. So let me just grab up my old results. So this is not required as well anymore. So let me minimize that, and we'll bring up that results once again of this subnet. So I'm scanning up this system over here. So with just a few characters in my line, I mean to say, or a one-liner, I can just flood up a system over there with certain arbitrary SYN packets, so that the system becomes flooded with the, what do you say, requests, and it exactly starts misbehaving. So this type of attack can be done over there. Saurabh, we can do this right to any of the system, but I just don't want to poke into somebody's system. You tell me your IP address, I'll just try to do something over there, and your system will become harmed. So this can happen. Okay, so here we go. So we found certain results over there. So see here. If sort of I told you that if we even if we are in a different network, doesn't matter at all, right? We can, as long as we are able to access that, or as long as the route is there, or we are able to reach that, or how to access the different network, we'll have to use routing in that case. Yes, bug bounty, we can loop that in shell scripting. We can use an infinite for loop and run the job in background. Okay, here we go. But exactly that won't work up too well, because the SYN packets are not created properly when we exactly loop the packets. So basically what you have to do, in order to do a distributed denial of service attack, the looping or using a for or do while loop won't work properly. So what you have to do, in fact, you have to use many systems over there. So that is why distributed denial of service attack exactly exists. Otherwise, people would have used simply your, what do you say, normal attacks, or using looping here they have would have attacked. SSH service is used to grab up remote shells or remote emulations over there. See what is SSH. So Kaushal, you are interested in looking out what is SSH. So see here what is SSH. So SSH was opened up on a website called www.thirditech.net, right? So I'll just access that website. So this is SSH. We have just grabbed up. This is we are on CentOS on some other system over there. We are exactly on some Google Cloud system over there, right? So if you just type in here IPA, we are on a different system. So you can see that we are on 10.142.0.2. So particularly we can exactly scan up any network, and we can access any network. And SSH is used for terminal emulation. Okay, okay, Kaushal. How to remotely access without knowing password? Without knowing password, you cannot access up a system, Amit. You cannot access a system without knowing a password. You can exactly poke into that system, make that system busy, or just increase the CPU utilization of the system and bring that system down. But you cannot access the system without a password. Somehow you have to know that password over there. That particular object is, or that particular objective, in fact, is called man in middle attack, or MITM, right? So in order to do MITM, again a different infrastructure is required. So this is not the scope, or currently we are not going to deal with MITM, but MITM exactly can grab up the passwords in the between the session, so that we can hack out the passwords when somebody is doing something, and we can then get access particularly. Okay, so what we were up to? We were up to the point where we scanned up the whole network, and see here we found out certain interesting, like RA Link technology. So RA Link technology is the one, is are the companies who build up wireless systems in there, or Wi-Fi cards. In fact, they build up cameras as well. So if you just Google up RA technology, so this is how uh, hacker exactly works. So he just found out something called RA technology. So he just found out, okay, RA Link is something related to Wi-Fi chipset, and he found that there is a Wi-Fi chipset with port number 80 opened over there. So he now got interested. So what he'll do, he'll just type in over here http:// and the IP address of the system. So you can see that the IP address of the system over here is 23, right? So what he'll do, he'll type in http colon slash slash 10.10.10.23. So he'll be able to get up access. No, now since this is my system, I know the username and password. So yeah, I'll log in into the system because I have to show you something different, right? Okay, so just let me log in again. Oh, no, no, no. Okay, wait a second. This system's IP address is something wrong. Give me a sec. I just forgot the this username and password, I guess. I cannot just grab up the IP address. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. I'm stopping the broadcast in between so that I can bring up that IP address. Okay, give me a sec. I'll just ping up that IP address. I just missed out the password of that system. So what I'll do, I'll just open up the web page, and this web page is particularly responding with a username and password, right? So this page is responding particularly. So if I know the username and password, I will be able to get in the system, right? So cat tilde slash desktop slash DOS. If I run this command, so this is the IP address 10.10.10.23, and what I'll do, I'll use up some other system to attack so that if there is a trace, they'll not be able to trace me. So if I just execute this command over there, and if I just grab up this one, so see here, it will keep on rotating and we will not be able to access that system over there. So now the system is down. So particularly that webcam is down now. Will not be able to grab up that particular, what do you say, cam over there. Okay, so now let's come to some questions in there. So I have just finished off this Nmap. So particularly my notion was to teach you how to scan up a system and how to find out the open ports in there, and how to once I find out that open port, how to particularly attack that open port so that the system can be down. So if I just stop in here, so I just paused in here. So let's now refresh the system and see the page has come up, right? Okay, so we are able to see up this camera. Again, let me just bring up that one. So this camera is, so once you are here, you can notice up the date in here. So see here, this is the date, right? So let's notice the date. So that means the camera is working 16/30/21, right? So if I just come over here once again, come here, yeah, and attack this system. So see here, the camera stops responding. Did you notice that? So if I just stop in here again, pause in here. So this is what is the function of a denial of service attack. This is what a denial of service attack does, right? So see, the camera has again started working. So the camera was not stopped. Exactly, we stopped the transmission, right? So we stopped the transmission so that nobody is able to see it. You might have seen in the movies, they just hang the cameras. So this is what exactly is done. A denial of service attack is done. Okay, let's come to some questions in there. So from here, we'll start up some questions. How do we get someone's exact IP address? So how do we get someone's exact IP address? It's easy here. So meet MET meet Gade, I guess, right? So we have a command called ns lookup, and if you type in the website over here or the domain name over here, like www dot, let us say saveyan.in. So this is a website in here. So I want to know the, so this is the IP address. So this is how we know the IP address. This is using ns lookup command. So I hope this answers to your question. I just stopped my scanning because broadcasting, because I had to see my IP my password. So see there the dog is going. So you can see that in the cam, right? So the cam is working. It means it's not static cam. Uh, the point is that I stopped this broadcasting just to see my IP address. My IP address was stored in Google stores your passwords. So particularly, I need to see my IP address and the password related to that IP address. That is why I stopped the broadcasting. But if you don't have credentials, Saurabh, I told you that if you don't have credentials, at least you won't be able to access it. But you can just put up a break on the on his system or on his network particularly. uh, Ayush, this system just used NS lookup to find out the IP address of this particular system. So I don't need to be, so I am on some other network over here, right? So I am not on this 35 dot something. I am on some other network, right? So you want to see on which network I am over there. So just type in here myipnumber.com, and I am on this network and I want to get access this 35.185.124.16. So or I want to just grab out certain information from there, that what are the ports open and all. So I can just do an Nmap over here. So I can scan up some other system, hyphen pn hyphen ss and the IP address. So this will scan up. So it's not hyphen ss, just made a typo. SS. Okay, so I am done for today. So any questions, please put up. We have got another 10 minutes remaining. This is the NATed IP address. 203.163 is the dot 246.43 is the IP address of my router. Ayush, this is the IP address of my router. I am on two different. I am exactly using a routed network, so my IP is different. So if I use IPA, it will show me that I am using up a different IP address. So particularly, somehow I am exactly having a router in behind here, which is this router is connected to this system is connected to router, and this router is connected to this IP address. Got that, Ayush? According to this scenario, a victim uses VPN. So bug bounty has asked a question. So, sir, according to this scenario, if victim uses VPN, can attack then attacker can access the exact IP of address of both of same Wi-Fi. If both have same Wi-Fi, bug bounty, can you explain your question? I didn't understand your question properly. Sandbox is nothing. Sandbox is a machine. That is it. A machine that is used for some purpose. Like here, Kali Linux is a sandbox because it contains an operating system. So anything that exactly contains up an operating system, particularly and used for a specific purpose, is called sandbox. Got that, Kaushal? If remote desktop is not enabled, Ayush, then we won't be able to grab up the terminal. Remote desktop has to be enabled in order to get access to the terminal over there. Yes, we can create a trojans. If you look at it from hacker's perspective, then hacker will exactly create up a trojan or a rat, and he will send it to the victim's machine. Victim will execute it, and again he will grab up the desktop of that system. So particularly this can be done, Ayush. Oh, victim uses VPN. Then when attacker attacks, it is possibly there is successful at that time. Yes, even through a rat, it is possible. Bug bounty through a rat, through a rat and through a Trojan, it is possible to attack a victim's machine, even if he is using a VPN. VMware is a platform, Omkar, right? VMware is a platform where you can simulate whole of this ecosystem. Where you will you find two laptops or three desktops in there? So exactly you need two or three machines in order for whole of this ecosystem to simulate, right? So that is why I am using VMware workstation particularly. So otherwise, if you have two or three laptops, then it is okay. Yes, bug bounty. Thanks for that. But attack, even if you are behind a VPN, you will be through a Trojan or through a rat, we will be able to access that. Remember. See, to some extent, Ayush, you can hide up your IP addresses. But again, how can you hide your IP address? You can hide your IP addresses by using something called Tor browser. While browsing, you can use a Tor browser and you can hide up your IP addresses. Otherwise, you can use some VPN to hide up your IP addresses, right? But at least the person whose VPN or whose browser exactly you are using, he knows what exactly the content is flowing in through your browser or through your window in there. Particularly, so in terms of security, if you call it, using up some VPN or using up some proxy is not safe in that case. But you can hide using a proxy or a VPN. That is right. But it is not safe. Kaushal, you don't need to know any programming language in order to learn ethical hacking or in order to write up a malware or a virus. No programming skill is required. Zero programming skill. Uh, Diku Kadam. So CH certified ethical hacker would be the course, the one, the you can say pre-demo of that session I showed you is the course exactly which you should do like ethical hacking to start up as a security analyst or to do something related to hacking there. You can put up firewalls to protect yourself from DOS, right? Or you can put up your anti-malware or antiviruses are even there to avoid this DOS attacks, right? But not all DOS attacks can protect. DOS attacks can be protected. People will find some or the other port open, and so exactly the point is that you can block up the ports so that the DOS attack cannot be done. But how many ports will you block? There are 65536 ports over there. So 2 to the power of 16 ports. So exactly not all ports can be blocked particularly precisely you can say. So DOS attacks are not completely preventable. To some extent it can be prevented. Yes, so, sorry, VMware is to just to create the virtual machines. For Trojan browser Windows, Omkar, can you elaborate your question? I didn't understand your question. For Trojan browser Windows 7 is must require. I didn't understand your question properly. That is what I am telling Amit, Amit Sagar, that with some sort of filtering like firewalls you can protect up this one, but if you change up MAC address then the attacker will can exactly know that you have changed or your firewall with some MAC filtering over there, so he can just drop down to a different MAC addresses by changing his own MAC address and he can again start the attack. So MAC filtering is not a great solution is there in there, so it can be solution to some extent. Is it legal to write viruses? No, Ayush, it is not legal to write a virus or a malware. But still, to get mm, access to a system, we can use a. See, these Trojans are were designed. The Trojans that is used to some access some other system were designed as tools. In fact, in some days, right? But the point is that the one that is a tool like a plier, it is a tool, it can be even used to murder a person, right? In the same way, the tool that was designed to grab some information from from a particular system is now used for hacking. Tor browser, not you don't need a Windows system over there or a Linux. It can be used in any you can say OS. Particularly, let me show you how do you grab a Tor browser. Just go there and download Tor browser. Just go and download the Tor browser. Tor browser is nothing but it is a full-fledged Dockerized or containerized browser in there, so it will have its own exe with own dlls and all, so you can download it for anything, download for Windows, download for Mac OS, download for Linux, download for Android, so you can download it for anything. Two systems with the same MAC addresses is not possible in a switched network. It will not accept the data, it will drop the packets, Kaushal. You cannot have two systems with the same MAC addresses, the packets will get dropped. On what concept does Nmap work? How can it scan all ports? Nmap exactly, Amrit, Nmap is a tool that is designed for scanning. It works on SYN flags and ACK flags, and there are certain other flags as well. So particularly, it is a tool that is designed to scan up the system. What is the concept behind that? It's written in some language where it can exactly do up this sort of scanning. There is no concept behind it. It's a tool, particularly. Uh, Divakar, nothing would happen if you use up a Tor browser. If you use, it's safe to use up a Tor browser. The point is that there can be situations when you won't be able to visit up certain websites. This can happen because certain websites doesn't accept traffic from your Tor browser there. Yes, you can, Ayush, you can temporarily change up MAC addresses. Uh, Because tell me that is Chrome safe? I don't feel so. Is Edge browser safe? I don't feel so. So how can a Tor browser be safe then? So none of the browsers are safe. In fact, precisely speaking in this webinar over there, that any of the platforms, whether it is Google's Chrome or Microsoft's Edge browser, they are keeping your data, right? So none of the top browsers are particularly safe. The point is that some of them are keeping less of the data, some of them are keeping more of the your browsing data, but everybody is keeping in some or the other data in there. Vinayak, you have to learn first of all, certified ethical hacking will be the starting point if you want to protect your application or your website. From a ransomware attack, there is only one solution: keep up a backup of that system somewhere safe, right? And that should not be an SMB. It should be an NFS or some other storage over there, and you can retrieve your data back from there. That means you can retrieve data back from a backup. Or ransomware attacks exactly cannot be, you cannot exactly recover a system unless you pay. Uh, Divakar, you won't find up a recovery key for a ransomware attack. I have seen up a ransomware attack on my own data center, and it was very difficult to. It was without a payment, you cannot get the key. As simple as that. There are certain websites that tell that okay, I'll give you the keys, or these keys are free. You download these keys, install it, but you try it out, it won't work. What is the main difference between Tor VPN proxy? Proxy is a, you can say, application. VPN is a service, and Tor is a browser. Right? All of them are exactly doing the same task, hiding you behind and letting you browse. So Tor VPN proxy are three different things. VPN is a service, proxy is an application, and Tor is a browser. If you go up to Tor browser and you use your search engine, you are going to use DuckDuckGo as your search engine bounty. So particularly if Tor is taking up data, how can DuckDuckGo be your best browser? So DuckDuckGo is exactly taking up. None of the search engines are safe. In fact, they make up money by selling your search results over there. Omkar, you started with certified ethical hacking. There is no best ethical hacking course. It's a pipeline. First of all, it's certified ethical hacking. Then it is ECSA, and then it is CHFI. Ayush, you become a certified ethical hacker, and people will hire you to see do a DOS attack in their organization and see what is the performance of their machines in there, or what is the CPU utilization that they are going through. Yes, Parth, from this lecture, the ethical hacking started. Chintu, I didn't see your question. Chaitanya, your question is, please respond to my question. Your question was exactly, I want to learn ethical hacking from scratch. Please suggest me. So, start it with CEH, Certified Ethical Hacking. Okay, guys, it is now time to end up the show, right? Thank you so much for being with me. Can I test malwares in nested VM? Yes, you can test malwares in nested VM. So, Parth, you can apply your course by contacting your Let's Upgrade team. Python is entirely different, Chaitanya. Sorry, sir, Ayush. Python is is a language. Ethical hacking is a, you can say, collection of tools where you learn how to exactly hack using a collection of tools there. So Python and ethical hacking are different platforms in there. So they don't exactly tally with each other. Uh, Chaitanya, I told you let's upgrade.in. So look at the possible answers from Shoaib Sheikh. Shoaib Sheikh is the one who is going to answer to your question. Shoaib, please type an answer to this Chaitanya's question where he can exactly contact you. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being with me. I hope that this has been informative for you. See you next time. Till then, bye bye.